A journey of hope through life's toughest battle. Can love, hope, and determination survive when life throws its biggest challenges all at once? That's the question many people have been asking as they follow the deeply personal journey of Katie Thurston and her husband, Jeff Arcuri. Their story isn't just about cancer. It isn't just about IVF. It's about two people refusing to let life's most painful moments define their future. Katie Thurston first became a household name after appearing on The Bachelor and later starring as The Bachelorette. Fans admired her honesty, confidence, and willingness to speak openly about difficult topics. But nothing could have prepared her or the people who supported her for the life-changing news that arrived years later. In early 2025, Katie publicly revealed that she had been diagnosed with breast cancer. What began as a frightening diagnosis soon became even more complicated when doctors determined the disease had progressed to stage 4 after it spread to her liver. Instead of hiding from the public eye, Katie chose to share her journey honestly, documenting both the emotional victories and heartbreaking setbacks. For many people, receiving a cancer diagnosis completely changes every plan for the future. Career goals, travel dreams, and especially family planning often have to be reconsidered overnight. Katie and Jeff suddenly found themselves making decisions that most couples never imagine having to make so early in their marriage. Jeff Arcuri wasn't simply watching from the sidelines. The comedian made it clear that his wife came before everything else. Reports revealed that he postponed major professional commitments so he could remain by Katie's side during treatment, helping her through doctor's appointments, chemotherapy, surgeries, and the countless emotional moments that happen away from cameras. Their relationship quickly became an example of partnership during unimaginable hardship. Rather than allowing cancer to steal every future dream, they began discussing something equally important: the possibility of building a family. That decision introduced another emotional challenge: fertility preservation. Many cancer treatments can affect fertility, making conversations about future children incredibly urgent. Doctors often recommend discussing fertility options before treatment begins whenever possible. Katie openly explained that she and Jeff entered what she described as a fast-tracked fertility process because they wanted to preserve the possibility of becoming parents someday. The IVF process isn't simple. It involves medications, hormone injections, frequent monitoring, egg retrieval procedures, laboratory work, and an emotional waiting game after every milestone. Even for healthy couples, IVF can be physically exhausting and emotionally overwhelming. Now imagine going through that while simultaneously preparing for cancer treatment. Katie wasn't facing one life-changing medical journey. She was facing two. Every appointment carried enormous weight. Every decision involved balancing today's health with tomorrow's hopes. Cancer treatment couldn't simply wait forever, yet preserving fertility required careful timing and coordination with specialists. The pressure was enormous. Despite everything, Katie continued sharing updates with remarkable honesty. Rather than pretending to stay positive every moment, she admitted there were days filled with fear, uncertainty, and sadness. That vulnerability resonated with thousands of followers who appreciated seeing someone acknowledge that courage doesn't mean never feeling afraid. Jeff's support remained constant throughout those difficult months. Instead of making the journey about himself, he focused on helping Katie navigate each obstacle one step at a time. Their teamwork became one of the most inspiring aspects of their story. Eventually, they received encouraging news. Their fertility preservation efforts resulted in 2 frozen embryos, giving them hope for future family-building options, despite the uncertainty surrounding Katie's ongoing treatment. It wasn't the end of their journey, but it represented an important milestone, and a reminder that hope could still exist even during the darkest chapters of life. For many supporters, that update represented much more than a medical achievement. It symbolized possibility. It reminded people that while cancer changes lives, it doesn't automatically erase every dream. Although the future remained uncertain, Katie and Jeff had preserved an opportunity they deeply valued. Still, the emotional burden didn't disappear. Cancer treatment continued. Medical appointments continued. Scans continued. Questions about the future continued. Yet through each update, one message remained consistent: they refused to let fear completely take control of their lives. Katie repeatedly emphasized her desire to continue living fully despite her diagnosis, pointing to advances in treatment and expressing hope about the future. Her outlook has been shaped by both realism and optimism as she navigates life with metastatic breast cancer. As more people discovered their story, messages of encouragement poured in from around the world. Cancer survivors, IVF parents, healthcare workers, and countless supporters found pieces of their own experiences, reflected in Katie and Jeff's journey. Their openness transformed a deeply personal struggle into a source of comfort for others facing similar challenges. But while one milestone had been reached, the road ahead remained uncertain. The next chapter of their story would bring even more emotional decisions, unexpected obstacles, and powerful reminders that hope often grows strongest during life's most difficult moments. As Katie Thurston and Jeff Arcuri celebrated the milestone of preserving 2 embryos, they also understood that the hardest part of their journey was far from over. Fertility preservation offered hope for the future, but it didn't change the reality that cancer treatment remained the immediate priority. For many people diagnosed with cancer, life suddenly becomes measured in appointments, test results, scans, and treatment schedules. Katie found herself adjusting to a completely different routine, one filled with consultations, medications, and conversations that carried enormous emotional weight. Every decision had to balance effectiveness against side effects, immediate needs against long-term goals. Throughout this period, Katie continued sharing updates with remarkable honesty. Instead of presenting a perfect image, she allowed followers to see both the victories and the difficult days. She spoke about moments of uncertainty, the emotional impact of waiting for results, and the importance of accepting help from loved ones. That openness resonated with thousands of people facing their own health challenges. Jeff remained a constant source of encouragement. While many knew him for making audiences laugh through comedy, those closest to the couple witnessed another side of him. He focused on supporting Katie during appointments, helping her through treatment, and making sure she never felt alone. His commitment reminded many people that sometimes the greatest act of love is simply being present when someone needs you most. Cancer affects far more than physical health. It changes routines. It changes priorities. It changes conversations between family members. Simple plans that once seemed automatic suddenly require careful consideration. Vacations become uncertain. Career schedules shift. Family celebrations may need to be postponed. Every decision is influenced by treatment schedules and medical advice. For Katie and Jeff, the dream of becoming parents remained alive, but they understood that patience would be essential. IVF had provided an opportunity for the future, not a guarantee. Like many couples who undergo fertility preservation, they recognized that the process involves hope, uncertainty, and waiting. Medical experts often explain that preserving embryos before cancer treatment can provide options later, depending on a patient's overall health and recommendations from their care team. Every individual's medical situation is different, which is why treatment plans are carefully personalized. Katie has emphasized that her own experience is unique and should not be viewed as a universal path for others facing cancer. One reason Katie's story has inspired so many people is her willingness to discuss subjects that are often difficult to talk about publicly. Cancer and infertility are both deeply personal experiences. Many individuals quietly struggle with one or both of these challenges, unsure how to express their emotions. By speaking openly, Katie helped normalize conversations about fear, uncertainty, and resilience. Followers frequently responded by sharing their own experiences. Some described surviving cancer. Others spoke about years of fertility treatments before welcoming children. Many simply thanked Katie for reminding them that it is acceptable to admit when life feels overwhelming. Support also came from fellow members of Bachelor Nation, friends, healthcare professionals, and countless strangers who had never met the couple but felt connected through their story. That growing community of encouragement became another reminder that difficult journeys rarely have to be faced completely alone. Still, there were moments when optimism was difficult to maintain. Waiting became one of the hardest parts. Waiting for scan results. Waiting to see how treatment was working. Waiting to learn what the future might hold. Anyone who has experienced a serious illness understands that waiting often creates as much emotional stress as treatment itself. Questions can linger for days or weeks before answers arrive. Katie acknowledged those emotions honestly. Rather than pretending every day was filled with confidence, she explained that some days were simply about taking one step forward. Small victories mattered. Completing treatment sessions mattered. Spending quality time with loved ones mattered. Finding moments to smile mattered. Jeff shared that same perspective. Instead of focusing only on distant goals, the couple learned to celebrate progress wherever they could find it. Whether it was encouraging medical news, completing another stage of treatment, or simply enjoying a peaceful day together, those moments became reminders that hope doesn't always arrive through dramatic breakthroughs. Sometimes it appears quietly, one day at a time. Their story also highlighted an important message about partnership. Relationships often face unexpected challenges, but facing those challenges together can strengthen the bond between two people. Katie and Jeff demonstrated that supporting one another through vulnerability requires patience, understanding, and compassion. As months passed, they continued balancing cancer treatment with conversations about the future. The preserved embryos represented possibility, but for the moment, Katie's health remained the central focus. Their priorities were clear: fight the cancer, protect hope for tomorrow, take each day as it comes. For many followers, those simple priorities became a powerful lesson in resilience. The road ahead remained uncertain, and more difficult decisions still awaited them. Yet Katie and Jeff continued moving forward together, proving that even when life changes unexpectedly, love and determination can provide strength through the darkest chapters. Finding strength in the uncertainty as the months continued, Katie Thurston and Jeff Arcuri settled into a new reality, one shaped by treatment schedules, medical appointments, and constant adjustments. While no one chooses a path like this, they learned that resilience is often built one day at a time. Cancer treatment rarely follows a perfectly predictable course. Every patient responds differently, and doctors carefully monitor progress to determine the most effective approach. That uncertainty became part of Katie's everyday life. Regular scans, blood work, and consultations helped her medical team evaluate how treatment was working and whether any changes were needed. Throughout this process, Katie remained committed to being transparent with her supporters. She shared both encouraging moments and difficult setbacks, reminding everyone that healing is rarely a straight line. Some days brought optimism, while others required patience and emotional strength. That honesty became one of the defining features of her journey. Rather than presenting only positive updates, Katie acknowledged the reality that serious illness brings complicated emotions. Hope and fear can exist at the same time. Gratitude and frustration can exist together. Feeling strong one day doesn't mean feeling strong every day. Those messages resonated deeply with people around the world. Many followers commented that Katie's willingness to speak openly helped them feel less alone in their own struggles. Cancer survivors, caregivers, and individuals navigating fertility challenges recognized familiar emotions in her updates. Jeff continued standing beside Katie through every stage of the journey. While the public often saw brief updates on social media, much of the couple's experience happened privately. Countless hours were spent traveling to appointments, discussing treatment plans with doctors, waiting for results, and supporting each other through moments that never appeared online. Those quiet moments often define a family's strength far more than public milestones. At the same time, thoughts about the future never completely disappeared. The embryos they had preserved before treatment remained a symbol of possibility. They represented hope for a future chapter that Katie and Jeff still dreamed about, even while understanding that their immediate focus had to remain on Katie's health. For many couples facing similar circumstances, fertility preservation offers emotional reassurance. It provides an opportunity to keep future family-building options available, although every situation depends on medical guidance, overall health, and personal circumstances. Katie has emphasized that each person's experience with cancer is different. Treatment decisions are made with healthcare professionals, based on an individual's diagnosis, medical history, and goals. That perspective encouraged many followers to view her story not as a blueprint, but as one family's unique experience. Another remarkable aspect of Katie's journey was her determination to continue living her life despite the uncertainty. She spoke about appreciating meaningful moments with family and friends, celebrating milestones whenever possible, and refusing to let fear define every day. That outlook inspired many people. It reminded followers that while illness can change life dramatically, it doesn't erase the importance of laughter, love, or making memories. Jeff shared that same mindset. Known professionally for making audiences laugh, he continued balancing his career while making Katie's well-being his highest priority. Support wasn't limited to grand gestures. Often, it meant accompanying her to appointments, listening during difficult conversations, and simply being there during moments when words weren't necessary. Those acts of quiet support often carry enormous meaning. Meanwhile, messages of encouragement continued arriving from around the world. People who had never met Katie or Jeff shared personal stories about surviving cancer, becoming parents through IVF, or supporting loved ones through serious illness. Their experiences created a community built around empathy, rather than sympathy. Many followers explained that Katie's openness encouraged them to schedule medical checkups, ask important health questions, or seek emotional support during their own difficult circumstances. In that way, her willingness to share personal experiences reached far beyond her own story. It became a reminder of how powerful honest conversations can be. Still, uncertainty remained part of everyday life. Every upcoming scan brought questions. Every appointment carried anticipation. Every encouraging update was welcomed with gratitude while recognizing that treatment was still ongoing. Katie continued emphasizing that hope isn't about pretending everything is easy. Hope means choosing to keep moving forward despite uncertainty. That message resonated with countless people because it reflected the reality many families face during long-term medical journeys. Rather than focusing only on what couldn't be controlled, Katie and Jeff concentrated on what they could control, supporting one another, following medical advice, celebrating progress, and appreciating each day together. Their story became about much more than cancer or IVF. It became a story about resilience, about partnership, about refusing to surrender dreams, even when life changes unexpectedly. As their journey continued, new challenges and important milestones still lay ahead. The road remained uncertain, but one thing had become increasingly clear. Katie and Jeff were determined to face whatever came next together. Looking ahead with courage as Katie Thurston and Jeff Arcuri continued moving forward, they understood that their journey would not be defined by a single diagnosis or a single milestone. Cancer treatment remained an ongoing part of daily life, but so did their determination to keep looking toward the future. One of the biggest lessons Katie shared throughout her experience was the importance of taking life one day at a time. Thinking too far ahead could sometimes feel overwhelming, especially when medical appointments and treatment schedules constantly changed. Instead, she focused on each step as it came, celebrating progress whenever possible, and reminding herself that every completed treatment was another step forward. That mindset helped both Katie and Jeff navigate the uncertainty that accompanies serious illness. Rather than allowing fear to consume every moment, they made space for the things that still brought joy. Spending time together, sharing quiet evenings, laughing during difficult days, and appreciating support from friends and family became just as important as the medical milestones. Jeff continued showing unwavering support throughout the process. Behind every public update were countless private moments of encouragement. Whether accompanying Katie to appointments, helping her recover after treatments, or simply listening during difficult conversations, he remained by her side. Their relationship demonstrated that partnership often means facing life's hardest moments together, without losing sight of hope. Support from fans also continued to grow. People from around the world followed Katie's updates and offered messages of encouragement. Cancer survivors shared their own experiences. Families who had undergone IVF described their emotional journeys. Others simply expressed admiration for the couple's honesty and resilience. Those messages reminded Katie and Jeff that they were not alone. While every cancer journey is unique, the sense of community created through shared experiences can provide comfort during uncertain times. Many supporters explained that Katie's openness had encouraged them to have important conversations with loved ones, schedule health screenings, or seek emotional support when they needed it most. Her willingness to share difficult moments created meaningful connections with people she had never met. As treatment continued, conversations about the future remained filled with cautious optimism. The embryos preserved earlier in their fertility journey represented possibility, rather than certainty. Katie and Jeff understood that many factors would influence future family-building decisions, including Katie's health, guidance from her medical team, and the timing of any future plans. They remained hopeful, while also recognizing the importance of focusing on the present. That balance between optimism and realism became one of the defining themes of their journey. Katie often emphasized that strength does not mean pretending everything is easy. True strength means acknowledging fear, accepting uncertainty, and continuing to move forward despite both. It is a lesson that resonates far beyond cancer or fertility treatment. Life rarely unfolds exactly as planned. Unexpected challenges can appear without warning, forcing people to adapt in ways they never imagined. Katie and Jeff's experience illustrated how resilience is often built through countless small decisions: the decision to keep fighting, to support one another, to celebrate small victories, and to believe that tomorrow can still hold meaningful moments. Medical science continues advancing in both cancer treatment and reproductive medicine, offering hope to many families facing circumstances that once seemed impossible to overcome. While every patient's situation is different, ongoing research and improved treatments continue changing lives around the world. Katie has repeatedly encouraged people to advocate for their own health, ask questions, and work closely with trusted medical professionals throughout their care. Her story has reminded many followers of the importance of early medical attention, open communication, and leaning on supportive communities during difficult times. Through every update, one message remained consistent. Hope does not eliminate uncertainty. It exists alongside it. Even during the most difficult chapters, Katie and Jeff continued finding reasons to look forward, whether through encouraging medical progress, meaningful time together, or the possibility represented by the embryos they had preserved. Their story became about far more than illness. It became a reminder that love can remain steady even when circumstances change dramatically. It became a reminder that courage is often quiet. And it became a reminder that hope can survive even the most challenging seasons of life. Yet one final chapter remained, a chapter reflecting on everything they had learned, the support they had received, and the message their journey continues to share with people around the world. A story of love, resilience, and hope as Katie Thurston and Jeff Arcuri continue their journey. One thing has become unmistakably clear: their story is not defined solely by cancer or IVF. It is defined by the way they have chosen to face extraordinary challenges together, one step at a time. When Katie first shared her diagnosis, the news shocked many of her supporters. Like countless families confronting serious illness, she and Jeff suddenly found themselves navigating unfamiliar territory filled with difficult decisions, emotional conversations, and uncertainty about what the future might hold. Rather than retreat from the public eye, Katie decided to share parts of that experience with honesty and vulnerability. She spoke about the emotional highs and lows that accompany treatment. She acknowledged that there were days filled with optimism and other days marked by fear or frustration. By doing so, she reminded people that courage does not require pretending everything is okay. Real courage often means continuing to move forward even when the path ahead is unclear. At the same time, Katie and Jeff faced another deeply personal challenge: preserving their dream of becoming parents. Before treatment, they pursued fertility preservation and ultimately froze 2 embryos, giving them a future option while Katie focused on her health. That milestone became a symbol of hope, even as they understood that every future decision would depend on Katie's medical progress and the guidance of her healthcare team. Throughout every stage of this experience, Jeff remained by Katie's side. His support illustrated that partnership is not measured only during life's happiest moments. It is also revealed during hospital visits, difficult conversations, long waits for test results, and the quiet moments when simply being present means everything. Together, they demonstrated that resilience is rarely about dramatic gestures. Instead, it is built through everyday acts of love, patience, compassion, and perseverance. Katie's willingness to document parts of her journey has also had a broader impact. Many followers have shared that her openness encouraged them to schedule medical screenings, discuss fertility concerns with their doctors, or seek emotional support while facing their own challenges. Her story has become a reminder that honest conversations can help reduce fear and stigma surrounding both cancer and fertility treatment. It has also highlighted the importance of leaning on others. No one should feel that they must face a life-changing diagnosis alone. Family members, friends, healthcare professionals, counselors, and support groups can all play meaningful roles in helping people navigate difficult circumstances. Although Katie's journey is unique to her, the emotions she has described, hope, uncertainty, determination, and gratitude, are shared by many individuals confronting serious illnesses around the world. Looking ahead, Katie and Jeff continue focusing on what they can control. They continue following medical guidance. They continue supporting one another. They continue appreciating every positive milestone, no matter how small. And they continue believing that hope remains worthwhile, even when the future cannot be predicted. Their story reminds us that life rarely follows the plans we carefully create. Unexpected challenges can appear without warning, forcing us to adapt in ways we never imagined. Yet those same challenges can also reveal extraordinary resilience, strengthen relationships, and inspire countless others through honesty and compassion. While no one can predict exactly what the future holds for Katie and Jeff, their journey has already left a lasting impression on many people who have followed their story. They have shown that even during life's most difficult seasons, love, courage, and hope can continue to exist side by side. As we close today's story, we want to recognize the strength Katie and Jeff have shown throughout this deeply personal chapter of their lives. We also extend our best wishes as they continue treatment and look toward the future. If their journey has inspired you, consider sharing a message of encouragement or reflecting on the importance of supporting loved ones facing difficult times. Stories like this remind us that kindness, empathy, and hope can make a meaningful difference. Thank you for watching. If you found this story informative and thoughtful, remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future updates on inspiring celebrity stories, health journeys, and human interest news. Until next time, thank you for being here, take care of yourselves and those around you, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for the watching and subscribe.